Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Today, I would like to show my presentation about chapter 5. First of all, I would like to say thanks to God, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, for giving the time to share this knowledge regarding chapter 5. I also want to say thank you to Madam for giving me time to share this knowledge. About implementation, examples, and resources. Plot of my presentation. First, I will explain influencing ICT in education policy creation. Second, influencing national teacher standards. Third, providing assessment criteria to determine levels of teacher ICT competence. Fourth, shaping teacher curriculum design. Fifth, designing teacher professional development courses. And last, open CFT resources on OER Commons. So first, I will give an introduction about our material. The general principle for teacher education should be considered when contextualizing and implementing the ICT CFT. What is ICT? What is the ICT CFT? The ICT CFT is a tool that can be integrated into the sustained support for teachers' lifelong development of ICT competencies and be used to streamline the process of the pre and in-service teacher education. It follows, therefore, that effective teacher professional development should make model effective teaching practices. Back to the introduction. Teachers' professional development in ICT competencies should be recognized as a process rather than an isolated training event. One-off training workshops or events are less effective than ongoing professional development activities. Next, continuing to the influencing ICT in education policy creation. The ICT CFT has influenced the development of ICT in education policy documents. Some national policies even mention the ICT CFT explicitly. For example, this excerpt from the Latin America and the Caribbean LAC region published in 2014 states the adoption of an established acceptable ICT in education and training set of standards or ICT competencies for teachers across all levels and stages, and so on. We can see that this influence in ICT in education policy creation is such an important thing. Next, about influencing national teacher standards. The ICT CFT has, since 2011, impacted on the development of ICT in education teacher standard created to support the implementation of policy directives. These standards identify ICT skills and competencies for which teacher training institution and in-service professional development initiatives are encouraged to development programs. Also in 2013, a Ministry of Education from the LAC region released a report which the introduction references the role played by the 2011 version of the UNESCO ICT CFT. And this is the table of scope of professional development standard for ICT competencies for teacher using the ICT CFT as a starting point. We can see this the table has competencies column, and the second column is level of competency, which has three specific columns in there, which are exploration, interrogation, and innovation. Next, about providing assessment criteria to determine levels of teacher ICT competence. The ICT CFT is being used to provide criteria when assessing national levels of teacher ICT competence or undertaking an analysis of training initiatives. In the Africa region, researchers used an adapted version of the ICT CFT in a study that measured national levels of teacher ICT competence and professional development training option. The research findings indicated that teacher in-service training initiatives were targeting only the lowest levels of ICT competencies. And next, this slide is about shaping teacher curriculum design. Going a step further from the development of standard and determining skill level is the development of a curriculum to support the acquisition of the competencies identified in standard documents. There is evidence that the ICT CFT has had some impact in this area. In 2012, the ICT CFT was harnessed to develop an ICT in education curriculum for a bachelor's degree by a university, the Latin America and the Caribbean region, and an associate's degree offered by local teachers training college. And from the left side, we can see the example of an ICT in education program for pre-service teachers. We can see in this column associate's degree about year 1 and year 2 has the same credits and the same sum of contract hours. And so for Bachelor of Education degree, it's just about adding 1 credit and 15 contract hours. And next, about designing teacher professional development courses. A review study conducted in 2016 reported the most common use of the ICT CFT was in the creation of teacher professional development courses and units of study. Corporate initiatives. We know that Microsoft was an important development partner of the 2011 UNESCO ICT CFT. In 2012, Microsoft developed a course titled Teaching with Technology, which was closely aligned to the UNESCO ICT CFT. And then, about the national initiatives. In the Latin America and the Caribbean region initiative, the course materials and activities were designed to develop in teacher a range of competencies and achieve a number of objectives identified from the ICT CFT. So on. And the next slide is about Open CFT Resources or OER Commons. In 2016, UNESCO created a OER Commons repository on the Institute for the Study of Knowledge Management in Education, or ISKME website, where open courseware resources could be indexed according to the ICT CFT competencies and objectives. The ICT CFT Cube has research tools that allows developers to search for and identify sources that would support teacher to acquire specific ICT CFT objective. Thank you. I think that's all for my presentation. I hope that this knowledge can be used as a research or something to increase the knowledge of the readers and the watchers. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.